The Girls Who Vanished, the 1971 murders of Rhonda Johnson and Sharon Shaw. A true crime deep dive into one of Texas' most disturbing cold cases. August 4th, 1971, the sun set over Galveston Beach like any other summer day, but for two girls, it would be their last. This is the story of Rhonda Johnson and Sharon Shaw, best friends full of life who vanished without a trace. What followed was a controversial investigation and questionable confession, and decades of lingering doubt. I'm Kitty, and this podcast is not named yet, but this episode is called The Girls Who Vanished. Rhonda Renee Johnson was 14 years old, bright, outgoing, a big sister. Sharon Lynn Shaw was 13, just days away from turning 14. She loved dancing, music, and her best friend Rhonda. Both were students at Webster Intermediate in Webster, Texas. It was summer, and the two had planned a day trip to Galveston Island. They were typical teenagers, laughing, gossiping, probably daydreaming about the upcoming school year or crushes on boys, the kind of innocence that makes what happened even harder to stomach. August 4th, 1971, the girls had left for the beach that morning. They were spotted by several people that day walking along the Seawall Boulevard, laughing and joking, possibly planning to ski at the Wicks area near the 𝒯𝒽𝑒𝓃 Bayou. A friend saw them around 6. They were just hanging out near the ski ramp. Everything seemed normal. That would be the last confirmed sighting. As the sun dipped behind the Gulf, they disappeared. When they didn't return home that night, their families panicked, but law enforcement initially believed they had just ran away. But they hadn't. 6 months later, police zeroed in on a 23-year-old gas station attendant, Michael Lloyd Self. He had a minor record, but nothing violent. Under intense interrogation by Police Chief Don Morris and Deputy Tommy Deal, he confessed. He said, "I picked them up, I took them to El Lago, I strangled Sharon with a rope, then I hit Rhonda with a Coke bottle." The confession was riddled with errors. The girls had been found near Clear Lake, not El Lago. Their clothes were found with them, yet Self said he dumped the clothes elsewhere. He claimed to strangle and beat them, yet no cause of death was ever confirmed. Later, Self said, "They put a plastic bag over my head, burned me with cigarettes, told me they'd kill me if I didn't sign the confession." And here's where it gets darker. Both Morris and Deal, those officers, would later be convicted of bank robbery and corruption. But despite the confession's flaws and the officer's criminal past, Self was still convicted in 1974 for the murder of Sharon Shaw. The trial lasted just a few days. No physical evidence, no witnesses, just a shaky confession. Self received a life sentence. He spent over 25 years behind bars, appealing his conviction at every level. Each time he was denied. In 2000, at the age of 51, Michael Self died in prison of cancer. Many still ask, did an innocent man die in prison? In 1998, a letter arrived in a Houston TV station. It was from a convicted killer, Edward Harold Bell, and it read, "I killed the 11 who went to heaven." Among the names, Rhonda Johnson and Sharon Shaw. Could Bell have been the real killer? Why was Self's confession even accepted? Did anyone ever test the DNA from the remains years later? Modern investigators have looked into exhumations, DNA tests, and case reviews, but as of today, no new charges have been filed. Rhonda Johnson and Sharon Shaw were girls with their whole lives ahead of them. What happened that night in Galveston remains clouded by false confessions, corrupt cops, and predators who may have escaped justice. Sometimes true crime leaves us with more questions than answers. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and share if you believe the girls deserve justice. And let me know in the comments below what case I should do next. Thanks.